Muhammadu Buhari arrives Glasgow for 26th United Nations Conference on Climate Change, plus increased call for inclusion of breast cancer treatment in the National Health Insurance Scheme. This and more we'll bring to you today on Panorama. I'm Ruth Aguela. Welcome. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Glasgow, Scotland, ahead of the 26th United Nations Conference on Climate Change, COP26. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president was received on arrival at Glasgow International Airport by Nigeria's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Environment, as well as other senior government officials. During the visit, President Buhari is scheduled to deliver Nigeria's national statement at a high-level segment for heads of state and government at a conference on Tuesday. He's expected to highlight key priorities and action to tackle climate change, as well as progress on the country's transition to low-carbon economy, consistent with achieving the Paris Climate Agreement. The conference, hosted by the United Kingdom in partnership with Italy, will bring parties together to help accelerate action towards the Paris Agreement, as well as the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. President Buhari will participate in some sideline events organized by US President Joe Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron on environmental sustainability and infrastructural development. Considered a crucial opportunity to achieve pivotal transformational change in global climate policy and action, the United Nations Conference of the Parties COP26 on climate change has opened in Glasgow, United Kingdom. Onenge Fineface reports that parties to the Paris Agreement are to reach consensus on net zero at this conference.
COP26 has opened with the understanding that the only way to have a livable future on Earth for humanity is for the world to act now to mitigate climate change, adapt to its impact, and build resilience towards a sustainable pathway.
And together, we can seize the enormous opportunities for green growth, for good green jobs, for cheaper, cleaner power. But we need to hit the ground running to develop the solutions that we need.
Let us rise to the enormous challenge of our time, this pivotal point in history, and achieve success for not just our present generation, but all generations to come.
Global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius will be exceeded during this century unless immediate, rapid, and large-scale reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, especially the carbon dioxide and methane, occur in the nearest future.
We have to make the choice to address climate change. We have to choose the hard but necessary actions.
Top on the agenda of COP26 are climate finance, adaptation, and global partnerships to achieve 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2050. President Buhari is leading Nigeria's delegation to the summit, which holds from 31st October to 12th November 2021 in Glasgow. Onenge Fineface, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is advocating solution to the climate crisis in the interest of the world. The president maintains that the climate crisis will not be fixed by causing an energy crisis in Africa. Uche Oguchukwu will tell us more.
President Muhammadu Buhari affirms that mankind has a duty to act on these dangers being posed by climate change. He noted with caution that this must not be done rashly. President Buhari pointed out that available statistics has shown that 1.3 billion Africans have access to low-cost and reliable energy is the highest of all possible concerns. This is estimated to rise to 2.5 billion by 2050. 2030. The president says Nigeria alone is projected to have the second largest population on the planet. President Buhari noted that without extra and stable power, the continent cannot build the factories that will transform Africa from a low-job, extractive-led economy to a high-employment, middle-income continent. He affirms that children cannot learn for longer and better by battery lights and any more than by candle lights. According to him, no more than the Africa of today, the Africa of tomorrow cannot advance using energy production that intermittently delivers. He is of the opinion in a rush to address climate concerns and for Western aid agencies and investors to burnish their green credentials. The people are rushing to install the most alternative of energy sources, which are often the most unreliable. President Buhari advocates the lifting of the moratorium placed on fossil fuel investments in Africa, with Nigeria pledging to eliminate illegal gas flaring by 2030, a byproduct of our oil industry, and harness it for electricity production.
Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
All right, let's turn to health. The need to step up campaign on the dangers and prevention of breast cancer has become paramount. This formed part of the views of participants at a breast cancer campaign walk in Owerri, organized in collaboration with the Imo State Ministry of Health. Doris Alex reports.
October every year is set aside by the World Health Organization to show their support for everyone affected by breast cancer and also create awareness on the need for prevention. This breast cancer campaign work in Owerri, put together in collaboration with the Imo State Ministry of Health, is geared towards creating awareness on the dangers of breast cancer. Some participants who described the work as a modest contribution to the fight against cancer stressed the need for self-check.
There is breast cancer, it is real, and also the warning signs that people should also look out for. That is the major thing, because it says that prevention is better than cure.
Women are advised to go for examination so that in case it is in their body, it will be detected early. Because when it is detected early, it can be treated.
For Dr. Okechukwu Duru, the event is put together to strengthen those living with breast cancer and also educate women on their role in achieving prevention.
Exercise is one of the things you can do to prevent cancer.
The theme for this year's Breast Cancer Awareness Month is Awareness is Power. In Owerri, Doris Alex, NTA News.
Female medical practitioners and members of the Defense College Officers' Wives Association have added their voices to the inclusion of breast cancer treatment in the National Health Insurance Scheme to reduce the financial burden on those suffering from the ailment. The organizers put together free examination for some rural women we hear in Ushafa. Here in Abuja, let's see that.
A World Health Organization data reveals that breast cancer is currently the most prevalent globally, with an estimated 2.26 million cases recorded in 2020. In Nigeria, it is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths, representing about 23% of all cases. Worried by the statistics, the National Defense College Officers' Wives Association created this awareness program for early detection and possible treatments.
We need to screen to be able to detect this disease at stage 0. If you write breast screening on a card and then the person is on NHIS, they will tell you that no, it is not covered because it is screening. It is better for us to add screening mammograms to our National Health Insurance Scheme.
Medical practitioners at the event said breast cancer cases are on the increase in Nigeria, most often due to lifestyle patterns, noting late presentation and urbanization as major challenges in successful treatment.
For women who do not go for screening, what it means is that they will not know when they have it. And by the time they know, it will be too late.
Experts believe the disease is characterized by abnormal growth of cells in the breast.
All right, let's expand the discourse talking about cancer. We have a guest joined us via Zoom, Dr. Taufik Ige. He's a chief consultant physicist, National Hospital in Abuja, on cancer treatment. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, a lot has been said in the past months. We know it's the Cancer Awareness Month that just passed. Talk to us more on assessing treatment for patients in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, colleagues and country members, as it were. With respect to assessing cancer treatment in the country, I think in the last few years, the government have tried its bit, to really make some of the centers available. Right now, we have 3 linear accelerators at the Youth Center, with 2, of course, at the National Hospital, Abuja. Enugu is functional. Benin and perhaps Sokoto should be going live very soon too. Be that as it may, we still need more of these centers, in the country, because the numbers we have are really, really very few. But the private sectors too are trying to do their bits, by coming in to really augment the number of facilities, in the country. As it were, the Federal Ministry of Health is geared towards probably increasing the quantum of the number of facilities in the country, so as to make it easier, for these patients from the nooks and crannies of the country to access this treatment, which is really very germane in solving the cancer conundrum in the country. Yeah. That would be my quick reaction, to your question. Thank you.
Okay, you made a very salient point talking about the centers not enough compared to the number of patients we have, cancer patients in the country. Now, access is critical. Now, for some persons who may get access to treatment, it may have reached advanced stage. How can people prevent that? Talking about how often should people go for screening or detection?
So you have actually mentioned it, because just like the theme of this year's Breast Cancer Week has shown, awareness is power. The awareness campaign should be far more reaching, because that's the first thing to do and to know. And once people know, it's a little bit easier. But more often than not, 80% of our patients, by the time they present in the clinics, they have got to an advanced stage, So I think the first thing by all the NGOs, and including the governmental authorities, is to really try to accentuate this cancer awareness, which is really, really very important in trying to bring down the level of this disease in the country. Thank you.
Okay, of course, Doctor, there are gaps when we're looking at infrastructure, equipment, and healthcare professionals. What about public-private partnership? Where do they come in for support?
Right, that's the key now, actually, because the government has so many things to really border on, but I think the NSIA Lutz Lagos project has actually brought to fore the necessity for having this PPP arrangement. Now, that's a facility in the country that has 3 machines on ground now as you speak. And the question of service contract, which is always very important in sustainability of these facilities, the Lagos Youth NSIA project too has blazed the trail, by having a 10-year service contract right from the go. So what we are talking about here is that the situation where we have in the country 2012, 2013, where we virtually don't have any functional facility in this country, may not happen, again. And moreover, with the number of the centers coming up again by the private, there's no private investor who will allow his machine to go down. And with this trail that has been blazed in Lagos, I think probably it's an idea and a very veritable solution, for even most of the other governmental facilities that are going to come up or that are already existing, that is the right way to go.
Okay, now the awareness month is to make people be aware that cancer is there and people who are suffering should go for treatment. According to WHO, cancer is the second leading cause of death around the world. For the ordinary person who doesn't understand when or how cancer happens, are there ways to prevent it? Because a lot of people just get to know they have cancer by chance. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is really, this is a very dicey situation as it were, because of course, if there's no screening, then you may not really know, whether you have it or not. And as it were, most of the causative factors, in our climate, and especially with respect to the food that we eat today, probably the sedentary lifestyle that we have adopted, it's actually, there's no catch-22 situation here, except probably we are able to increase the awareness momentum. Otherwise, it's very difficult. There's no voodoo in this, except probably we get their awareness. That the populace are really aware to really go for this testing, and then from there on, we take it further from there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Taufik Ige, for your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've been talking about cancer. Of course, just go for a medical checkup all the time. Let's go on a break while you ponder on that. We'll be back.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back. Jubilation rents the air at the Benue State Government Annex Abuja as Benue people celebrate the election of the former president of the Senate, Yochia Ayu, as the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party at its 2021 convention. Charles Abba reports that Benue political gladiators and other prominent personalities of the state expressed determination to unite and move the state and nation forward.
Emergence of the Boko-born politician from chief extraction of Benue State and former president of the Senate, Dr. Yochia Ayu, at the just concluded PDP 2021 convention at the Eagle Square, Abuja, sparked off excitement at the camp of Benue people.
We are happy that the chairman has come to us.
Don't come without any national chairman. That the governor is saying something different in Benue. And you came to Abuja and you can't believe that someone like this will say that kind of thing. A lot of you here are used to doing that. You will not invite us.
The newly elected national chairman of the PDP, Dr. Yochia Ayu, who appreciated God and the people for the feat, harped on the task ahead, emphasizing the power of unity and consensus.
If we unite, there's a lot we can do for Nigeria. Because Benue has so much talent. We can serve Nigeria very well. and make Nigeria a better place.
If you're going out here with nothing, go with a message that we have a responsibility, every one of you, to lead this country again from bottom to top.
The governor was emphatic on ensuring that the emergence of the PDP governor in Benue State in 2023 would be as seamless as that of the PDP National Convention 2021. From Abuja, Charles Abba, NTA News.
More agencies of government are appearing before committees of the National Assembly for appraisal of financial performance and projections for 2021 and 2022. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports on the session with Administrative Staff College of Nigeria and the Federal Loans Board.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, at this budget defense session with the House Committee on Public Service Matters, said its allocation for 2022 is 1.5 billion naira, out of which about 800 million naira is from internally generated revenue.
Subvention, overhead costs, 99,299,631 naira.
The Public Service Institute of Nigeria, the ASCOM, definitely government will not continue to run you. You have to look inward to see how you can generate revenue. You have all it takes to get money.
The Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board told the committee it disbursed 1.7 billion naira revolving loan to 363 civil servants in 2021.
If we give them the amount that they cannot be able to pay before they retire from the service, it will be a problem. So we normally used to look at their years of service and their grade level.
The board is projecting more than 2 billion naira as collections for 2022. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The destruction of public property out of anger has never offered a solution to any problem. Rather, it creates more. Hence, public assets must be valued and protected to sustain development and economic growth. This was the submission of the Chairman House Committee on Water Resources, Mr. Sada Soli, when he led his team on an assessment of the Cross River Basin Development Authority vandalized during the NSAS protest. Justina Etim will tell us more.
The NSAS protest left a trail of destruction in its wake. Until date, many government establishments vandalized are still picking their bits and pieces. One of such organizations is the Cross River Basin Development Authority, and getting the authority back on its feet prompts this visit by the House of Representatives Committee on Water Resources.
We're here particularly to witness, or rather to see for ourselves, the level of damage the basin sustained during the NSAS just about a year ago, and see what measure of help we can come up with during the appropriation process.
The premises of the Cross River Basin Development Authority, vandalized during the NSAS protest, boast of about 80 hectares of expansive land, which is now witnessing encroachment by locals due to lack of perimeter fence to ward off unauthorized access, and management of the authority is optimistic that this visit will address this challenge and many others.
And when they tried to set this place ablaze, it was the same staff that had the courage to come and put off the fire. We had friends that had come out on credit to at least make us be able to stay here.
With the visit of the House of Representatives Committee on Water Resources, it is hoped that the authority is on track to regain its relevance in its contribution to the improvement of agriculture and rural development. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
In line with President Muhammadu Buhari's agenda on bettering the lives of women towards self-sufficiency, Gombe State Governor's wife, Asma'u Inwayahaya, has distributed funds to hundreds of women in the state. Zara Umar Adamu reports that this is under her foundation, Jewel Care.
Empowerment is a key concept in the discourse on promoting civic engagement, which is the reason the governor's wife decided to select women from across the state to boost their livelihood. 500 women from across the 11 local government areas of Gombe State received the sum of 20,000 naira each as empowerment to enable them improve on their existing businesses, and for those who are yet or are not into the business, to enable them start up a business to better their lives and that of their family.
The main objectives of this initiative is to assist small women to be breadwinners and active supporters of their families.
Speakers who are optimistic that the gesture will add value to the lives of women encourage the beneficiaries to use the fund towards boosting their lives and the economy of the state.
Your Excellency,
we are most grateful to Her Excellency because she has empowered us, and we hope for more assistance in future.
We are appealing to the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the money for maximum benefits.
To the beneficiaries, the gesture has come at the right time, considering the present economic situation, appreciating the governor's wife for her laudable initiatives.
I'm a trader. I intend to have it on business. Appreciate everything that the Excellency has done for us. I am very happy to be a beneficiary of this fund.
As the saying goes, when you empower a woman, you empower the whole community. Zara Umar Adamu, NTA News.
We're done with Panorama. Thank you for your time. Together, let's stand against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.